Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Bite-Sized Branding live show on a Thursday afternoon. If you're in Sydney, you're probably at home because you don't want to go out in the torrential rain. You're both Melbourneites, right? Some of you are still in Melbourne?
I'm in Melbourne, yeah.
Melbourne, is it raining out there as well? You're all dry. Oh, my God. So random aside, I went to Melbourne at the start of the week. When I went to Melbourne, it stopped raining in Sydney. I come back to Sydney, it starts raining and stops raining in Melbourne. I'm not feeling it. I don't think this is how it's going to go down. Okay, just fix this up. I'm going to pass you guys the rain, so look out, and it's going to dry up here. Okay, got it?
All right, mate.
Awesome.
It's a weekend coming up.
The Grand Prix weekend, so not this weekend.
The next one, huh? Isn't the next one? When's F1? Isn't that this weekend? That's this weekend. Okay, so it can't rain this weekend. This is out. Okay, got it. Cool, guys. I skipped forward and we started the chat already. Obviously, Samer, thank you so much for joining us today. I'll throw it to you in a second and you can tell us a little bit more about the Good Meal Co. and everything that you guys are doing as part of the SBC group. But just before we get there, Grant, my fabulous co-host, I'm going to throw it to you. Tell everybody what the show is all about.
Thank you, Bernard. Well, hi to everyone and welcome to Samuel for joining us on the show. So my name is Grant Tom and I'm known as the head fire starter of the advertising and marketing industry. And what that means is that I love talking about businesses that want to be different, that want to disrupt, that want to add. Naturally, it's all about building brands that add value and create enhancements. On the show of Bite-Sized Branding, we talk in 5 minutes or less about a subject matter. When we bring a guest on, we give them 2 extra minutes onto the time slot. And basically what we tend to do is we'll butt each other, but it's not about talking about the negative. It's about finding the positive. We all got different points of view. So therefore we just put as much content and value that we're in. When we get to the end of the clock, hopefully the conversation is ended. We might just end with a couple of last minutes, but let us get started. So Bernard, let us introduce our fantastic guest this week.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure, Samer, to have you on the show. Obviously, we connected a while back and been fortunate enough to do some work with you guys as part of the Good Meal Co. And then obviously visit you in Melbourne at SBC back in December, I think it was. And honestly, it's been a joy. It's been great having you to be a part of what you're growing and developing. So it'd be cool if you could just let us in a little bit of insights on what the Good Meal Co. is all about.
Sure. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you, Grant. Really great to be on the show. Really fantastic, exciting. I'm channel ecom activation manager at SBC Global. I head up the Good Meal Company division, which is the e-commerce division of SBC. It's within the SPC Care healthcare division of SBC. So our mission as the Good Meal Company is to deliver a good range of meals to people in need. So they're on people on government subsidy packages. It can be on the NDIS, so the National Disability Insurance Scheme. They get funding for meals, as well as aged care and home care packages. So elderly living at home who can't necessarily cook at home themselves. So it's a really fantastic business, very satisfying. We're committed to that SBC mission of better food for the future, but it's not just better food for the future, it's better food for everybody. And everybody needs to eat, but particularly the people in care deserve it the most. We've all heard stories of meals in aged care and disability homes not being sometimes up to speed. So we think it's critical that people get the nutrition they need at the convenience they deserve, and they can have their independence at meal times without the need of having a care or support worker coming in. They can have one of our Good Meal Company meals in the freezer and heat them up whenever they feel hungry. So it's a really, really great business.
I think so.
Yeah, and honestly, it really segues very well. I had a question for you, and I'm sure it's going to come out in our first question, which is what actually sparked this idea for SBC? And usually we don't just run straight into questions so quickly, but you kind of teed it up perfectly. So what sparked this idea and helped you kind of find or create this niche? Is there much competition out there in this space?
There is competition, Bernard, but I think so SBC acquired the Good Milk Company back in November 2020. Before that, it was a family business as part of the Cuisine Company group. So Cuisine Company, its bread and butter was supplying ready meals to the supermarkets, and also had a contract with some of the New South Wales government to provide meals into public hospitals. By us working in that healthcare industry and ready meal industry, we saw a need. Like I said, with people in aged care homes and on NDIS plans, they get subsidised meals, and it's not something many people know about still. So we saw a need to provide ready meals to these vulnerable communities, and to be able to home deliver frozen meals nationally. So there's a real gap in the market at the time. It's quite a competitive market now, but at that time, 4 or 5 years ago, it was definitely a gap. People weren't getting the nutrition they need.
Sure.
Did you notice, Grant, that I forgot to hit the timer?
Yes, I did. I was actually thinking about that. So I think,
mate, we're only 61, 62 shows in. You would think by now I'm on a rhythm. I just got straight into the whole theme and what you guys have developed, and there are a lot of NDIS and support incentives out there. And you're right, the infrastructure by independent business is often not there, and it's great to see that a product has been created that's going to offer those benefits and support people out there. And I think exactly like you said, everyone's heard about those, the quality of food, or even where elderly go essentially starving because they
Exactly.
either their skills, they no longer have the skills to cook, or they no longer have the mobility to cook. So I think it's a phenomenal concept. And then have you seen the similar kind of response because of that and your positioning in the market, or is it something that's still developing and people are learning and still trying to understand?
I think we're a growing business. We supply a significant number of meals a week to people on plans, government plans. But look, it's absolutely. Look, we do about, what do we do, about 4,000 or 5,000 orders a month at the moment, and we're growing at a very rapid pace. So it's a growing market for sure. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And what kind of number would you like it at? What number do you think the capacity has got?
Look, I think it's a large market. There's obviously a lot of the government is putting in a lot of money into expanding that home care market, and they're trying to encourage people to live at home longer rather than going into a traditional nursing home. So it's a better lifestyle for the people on those packages, and it's of course they're happier at home, and that's where they've lived all their life. So I think it's where the government is putting a lot of money and trying to expand that market. So look, we're here for the long game. We really want to deliver good meals to people on these packages.
So can I ask something? Were you already part of the SBC group and then created this concept, or were you bought into the SBC group because of the concept?
Correct. So I came from the Good Milk Company before I was at the Good Milk Company before it was acquired, and I came across into the SBC world to integrate the business and enhance the overall e-commerce division. Yeah.
So you guys prepare the food as well, or is that outsourced, but you just manage that delivery part, or?
No, we're end to end, Grant. So we manufacture all our meals in Emu Plains, the foothills of the Blue Mountains in Sydney, Western Sydney, and from there we snap freeze and deliver across Australia.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your logistics must be crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, we're doing about 60,000 meals a day at that facility at the moment, and it's got a huge more capacity. We've got a long way to go. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Can you transport ice cream?
Sure.
It's frozen. It goes in the freezer. So if we have ice cream, we can sure put it on a truck, mate.
Absolutely.
I met somebody out here who does a vegan ice cream that's based on nut butter rather than a coconut butter, like coconut. Yeah. So you don't get the coconut flavor; you get nutty flavor. So that way, like chocolate just feels even more enhanced. Caramel is even more enhanced. I'm gonna have a chat with her and see if she wants to get some national distribution.
Yeah, there might be some synergies here.
Yeah, I love that. That would be wicked. Cool. Great.
So how did you go about finding the gap in the marketplace, in the sense of, this is not a problem that has just arisen. It's obviously been a problem there. How did you find this particular niche, and how competitive is this niche?
So look, as a cuisine company, the Good Meal Company, we were historically experts in developing a wide, diverse range of meals. So that was our core expertise and skill set, was to develop specific recipes across, every cuisine type you can imagine, across all meal occasions of the day: breakfast, lunch, dinner. We've also got soups and desserts and snacks on the menu. So that was our expertise, to develop good tasting, nutritious meals that are great to freeze and convenient to heat at home. So we saw a niche that people weren't getting, number one, fed properly in these communities, disability and aged care communities, but also they didn't have the diverse range of choice on meals. They had traditionally in an aged care home, you have a rolling menu, a weekly rolling menu, and now with our service, they get a choice of 80 meals. They can order at any time and get delivered to their home. So yeah.
Are aged care facilities transitioning their food offering to you guys specifically, or is it more individual, on an individual basis?
Well, I think traditionally aged care homes cook fresh in their homes. But what we've seen during COVID, Bernard, is staff and the workers in aged care facilities might be unavailable during the pandemic. So that they've of course brought our meals in as a backup solution. Yeah.
There are lots of people who play in this food game and the food meal delivery game. So how would you find your differentiation in this particular space? I'm not talking about the big top brands that are commercial, but I'm talking about the niche players like yourselves. Yeah,
for sure. So we're at Cuisine. We produce, at Good Meal Company, we produce meals on a volume basis. So we get the economies of scale, number one. So our prices are very competitive. I believe we're still one of the most competitive NDIS and home care meal providers in Australia. We've got very competitive rates, and people on these packages can get out of pocket. They're paying $2 a meal maximum. The rest is subsidised through the government. So that's, firstly, it's very competitive. It's a competitive meal solution. We deliver nationally. We've got that network in place to deliver in all states except Northern Territory, and we cover a large part of regional and remote areas as well through our network of carriers. And also, it's the wide choice of meals. Like I said, time's up. Yeah?
My volume's not up. There you go. Now
every show, there's a difference with this clock. Every show.
Changing it up.
Don't cut it out. Those couple of extra minutes at the beginning gave us so much more.
Yeah. bonus content.
It's a very interesting space. I think the effect of quality food and diversity of food and delivery of freshness, I think that is the niche. And I think the fact that people deserve wholesome food, I think this conversation needs those extra minutes to just get the concept out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't have much else to add. I think there's definitely a great trajectory for what you guys are doing, and it's a phenomenal space. It's just got my mind turning on how many more people we should be talking about, where we can make connections and create some opportunities. So I think after this, we're going to take it offline, Summer, and let's do some game planning where we can keep this expanding.
Absolutely. Everyone needs to eat, like I said, Bernard. So it's a big market, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'll head on to the next question. Looking at the brand and talking about the food and the diversity in the food and the offering, how does that offering then transpose into the brand itself? How does it affect the brand positioning? How are people responding to it? Is it creating what I would call like a brand community? Does it grow through referral, word of mouth, as well as organically through online? What's kind of your channels, and how you've built out the product support what's happening with the brand? I'll actually hit the clock on time.
I think there's a few questions in there, mate. I think the Good Milk Company, its proposition is the joy of food that is home delivered. So we really want to, I think for a lot of people, meal times are a happy time of the day. So it's that people have it's a joyful time. So it's the joy of food at meal times, and we home deliver that to people's homes. So through a range of wide choice of meals, and it's frozen and it's national. That's and it's a colourful contemporary brand that makes people want to just eat.
Okay, so Bernard, it's not moving. I just wanted to share this with you.
Sorry?
Your clock is not moving.
It's not. Oh my god! What?
What now?
Struggling with life. Here we go. There you go. It's actually.
There we go.
There we go. Right. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Okay. So I've got a question, for example. So I think you're dealing with such a diversity of a market. You're dealing with a diversity of a palate. You're dealing with a diversity of people, how they enjoy their food. How do you go about compromising for all these choices that people requesting in order to make sure that your brand on point is delivering a wholesome meal to that of your customers? How do you go about with that infrastructure of keeping on point, being relevant, and making sure that the deliverable is palatable to that of all your customers?
Yeah, it's like a restaurant, really, Grant. If you come back to a restaurant when the food is good and the service is good, that's the two key things. If the quality of food is there, which we've got, and we've got a personalized customer service team that deliver really top quality service to our customers, they're the two critical pieces of our model. As well as we try to keep our menu fresh, and we introduce new meals. It's normally on a seasonal basis. Winter's coming up, so we've got a range of soups now on the menu. So it's really just keeping it interesting and keeping ensuring people don't get bored of the meals.
How many options do you have on a menu?
It's probably 70, 80 meals on our menu, Grant. But Bernard, they range from, we've got veggie, vegan, dairy-free, all the usual suspects. There's gluten-free, and we've also got a new range of low GI meals, which is suitable for people with diabetes.
That was going to be my next question is do you find it challenging keeping up with all the new dietary trends like keto and all that kind of stuff, the caveman diet, et cetera? How do you manage that, or is that just by having that diversity in the menu, people kind of make it themselves?
It is. There's a lot of different types of diets out there. There's from the standard ones like gluten-free and veggie to keto and other FODMAP stuff, which it's a bit more trickier to cater for on a mass production scale. But look, we find we just cater for those main dietary requirements, like I said, and it normally keeps everybody quite happy.
Yeah.
And when it gets to the like you say, medical or special diets, like you mentioned, FODMAP and all that type of stuff, that really must put a lot of strain in your infrastructure in the sense of providing that. How do you quantify that?
It's hard. Like we just gotta we just pick all the the standard dietary requirements, and otherwise we've, like you said, Grant, we're gonna have one SKU that's keto and one SKU that's FODMAP, and it gets a bit tricky, But we try and our menu caters for the popular the standard requirements. Yeah.
And when if is a customer allowed to be naughty? Are they allowed to, or do you allow them to be naughty, or is it purely their choice, or do you sit there and try and say, look, that's not a very balanced meal. You need more nutrition.
Now, look, our standard meals are nutritionally balanced. We've got dietitians and nutrition in house, so all our ready meals are developed according to the health requirements and the guidelines. Look, we've got naughty stuff on the menu. We've got cakes. We've got sausage rolls. Some of the elderly guys, try and sneak in a sneaky cake.
You call me and say, look, you're not sticking to what the objective is. You're ordering the wrong stuff.
No, look, it's their choice, but we've got customers who don't tell the wife I'm ordering a cake. I'm going to be a bit naughty this week, so that's allowed with the Good Milk Company. Right?
Is it available to everyone then? Because we've talked about the niche being towards NDIS and aged care, but can anyone access this food range?
Yeah, absolutely, Bernard. They're good food, good quality meals that anybody could order.
I feel like I've got to close the website, or else I'm going to start
working. Dinner time coming up, so we're getting hungry. Yeah?
It's my hungry eyes. They're looking at the website. That's the fact.
So is this weekly? Do you get the food for the week? You deliver the weekly food? Is that how it works?
Yeah, correct. It's a weekly. We deliver weekly in our delivery areas. But there's no locking contract. So if someone's going away or someone's busy for the week or their freezer's full, they don't need to order that week. There's no locking contracts like that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just a week on week.
Exactly. Yeah.
Amazing.
And this is right around the whole of Australia, right?
Except
so what was that, Grant?
Right around the whole of Australia.
Yeah, correct. Except we've still got to get to Northern Territory, but everywhere else we're getting to it with our frozen deliveries.
Wait, Tasmania too?
Yep. Yeah, it's quite amazing. We're sending meals across the Tasman. Yeah.
Awesome. How good is that?
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic. I really do. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to get good food. There's just so many people that just go hungry due to being unable to prepare or get the correct nourishment.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And accessibility. A lot of people, like, accessibility is the challenge. Don't live close to a shopping mall or a shopping district, and they just can't go the distance to pick up what they need. So
especially in our markets, they're not. Some people are not mobile, so it's key.
Like every small thing we talk about just segues to stuff I want to talk about in the next question. I'm like, oh my god, let's get to the next one. I want to talk about the next thing. I really do want to talk about this, and a bit broader than what I was thinking originally, because the logistics right now are kind of blowing my mind. So I want to ask some questions about the logistics, but essentially I want to talk about how the systems that you've set up support the customer's experience. And I'm going to start off by hitting the clock, and then I'm going to ask you a question straight off the bat about my question.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if I can get this. Okay, it's here. It's right here. No. No. One day I'll work this out.
There we go.
I'll get a remote that will just play it. So my first question was to kind of, we'll get to the internal systems that kind of manage the day-to-day operation and ordering and customer support. But what I wanted to ask about is actually the logistics and how you manage the logistics. Do you own the trucks? Like when you cross the Tasman, how do you coordinate that? What are those logistics to get the food from A to B?
Yeah, sure. No, we don't own the trucks. That's a business on its own, I reckon, Bernard.
Yeah.
So what we're manufacturing in Emu Plains in Western Sydney. We store there, and then what we're doing is when a customer orders, we receive the order at our Emu Plains site, and then we're taking that order and we're picking and packing. So we're putting their chosen meals into their eskies. And when we're sending, this is all contracted out from this point on, is we send out, what we call line hauls, so trucks by road going to each state, Tasman across the border, of course, Tasmania across the border. But yeah, so frozen trucks go to each state. And then from there, that's passed on to our last mile home delivery couriers who then deliver to people's homes.
And they're contracted as well at that end?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Does that become difficult to maintain the delivery standard, like making sure things arrive on time and to the right customer, et cetera, or
it's challenging, of course. Anything can happen in logistics, but we're very fortunate to have very good partners in our network. So we really work together. It's of course key that people get their food. If the food doesn't arrive, then they go hungry. So it's really important they get their deliveries on time and as planned.
And that would be one of your bigger liabilities, is that once it leaves your hands, you can guarantee the quality of the food because it's coming out of your factory. Well, you can't guarantee the quality of the delivery necessarily, because, hope for the best.
Exactly. And look, anything can happen as well. Like the wet weather we've seen across the country, and COVID, it's really causes difficulties. But
how have you managed flooding?
Look, it's been challenging sometimes. Look, with the flooding, sometimes we just can't make deliveries. It's not possible to make deliveries. But look, like I said, we're really lucky to have good partners. So we do our best to get food, even if it's not from us. We might do a Coles or a Woolworths order, who might be able to deliver to our clients. So we just go that extra mile, to make sure people don't go hungry.
Are drones ever going to be a discussion?
Drones. That's what he said.
Drones. Look, it's the way of the future, Grant. I reckon it's coming. People might be getting their good meal deliveries on drones. Sooner than rather than later, I reckon.
Good. Man, well, okay, tell us a little bit more then about the in-house. Obviously, for people who don't know, our relationship with SAMA has been built over some awesome work that we've been fortunate enough to do with SBC Group. Building out some back-end systems to kind of support how this all runs. Tell us a little bit more about the importance of that, how it's been built out, and how that supports the customer experience.
Yeah, of course. It's like you said, Bernard. We've got we work in the NDIS and the home care market, so that service and that personalized care is really critical. So we've got a variety of systems in place to assist us to also navigate the complexities of the government regulations as well. So. Like you said, we've been working with yourselves at Lucidity to further optimize our systems, including HubSpot, our CRM, as well as integration with Shopify, our e-commerce platform. And through the assistance with Lucidity, we've been able to develop bespoke automations and workflows that really not only deliver personalized service to our customer, but also allow us to grow to the next stage and build our efficiencies out. So our systems are key to our success.
So how do you go about building your brand or your exposure or your delivery experience in order to get growth? Is it, how are you getting that word across?
Yeah, it's a big market, Grant. So there's a lot of channels. So we promote heavily on social media. LinkedIn, the Facebook, all the likes. We're doing a lot of investment in Google and search advertising. So they're all that advertising is targeted at not only the clients themselves, but there's the parents, there's the carers, there's their care providers. People like the likes of Anglicare and Uniting. They've all got people that look after these people. And there's also a lot of networking events and exhibitions around the country that we attend. As well as through our on the ground sales team, we've got a national sales team at SBC, so they're also key to our success. Boots on the ground, being able to meet
you for their target market.
Yeah, especially boots on the ground to visit care providers and do presentations. At the people who look after these people at home, and also assist us to deliver that personalized service. Yeah.
So what's on the if you can, whatever you can expose, what's the next big thing for the Good Meal Co?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of I'll just say what I can without getting into trouble here. A lot of dietary requirements. A lot of dietary requirements out there. So that's our focus at the moment, to expand that, better food for everybody for the future. So we've launched our low GI range for people with diabetes, and there's a lot of other dietary requirements we're focusing on. So there's watch the space.
Okay.
We'll be coming out with some exciting stuff soon. I think that's all I can say. Sorry, gents.
I think there should be a secret rice recipe or something coming out.
Honestly, it just makes it more and more enticing. Like, I've never thought to sign up to one of these, but now I'm like, whoa. I'm getting to that moment where I'm like, I just want to taste the food. I want to know what it's all about,
Yeah.
I just think the convenience is the way to go.
It is. Yeah.
Man, this has been such an enjoyable time that we've been able to spend together, hearing about what you've developed and what you're continuing to develop, even though you don't let up any secrets. But I think what you've created and the positioning of the brand is phenomenal. I love the joy of food home delivered is a phenomenal tagline. And I think I don't know how you guys do it, but managing all the different dietary requirements and being able to deliver on that consistently, like you guys should be so proud of what you've created and yourself, developing and continuing to grow this brand. I'm so excited to see what it becomes in the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to be a monster.
Exciting times. It's such a great business, like you said, Bernard. It's satisfying to see people eat proper food. That's really our proposition, Yeah. So no, it's been really enjoyed talking with you, gentlemen. It's been a great session. Great to be on the show.
Well, I just want to add that a segment like this on a subject like this that is that important, but yet the concept is novel, it's different, it's got upscale, is what you call an edutainment segment, in the sense that there's entertainment value. But at the end of the day, this is a classic ask of a subject where you're getting both together. So once again, thank you very much for coming onto the show.
No, my pleasure. Great to be here. Yeah.
And I think to add to that, like, it's so great to see something that was growing and expanding already, an industry that was growing and expanding, and then finding a hole in the industry that people haven't yet really tapped into or really accelerated or enhanced, and to come out like just guns blazing. And to see it continue to grow like this, like that is it's just testament to the positioning of what you've created and what it's going to become. Man, thank you so much for your time. Grant, as always, good job throwing in edutainment. You got it in. Grant has only ever missed one show. He hasn't.
One show.
There you go. Yeah, that's commitment, mate. Yeah.
What a bit absorbed.
Thank you so much for sharing all that information, all that insight. Hopefully for everyone that's listened, this show's a little bit different from a regular show, but what you can take away from it is that looking at simple ways of adapting concepts that are out there to find new opportunities and service people that are sometimes forgotten or communities that are sometimes forgotten can be that opportunity that's just waiting there dormant for the next big thing, So, Sam, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're looking forward to what we continue to create together. And man, I'm going to get you on John's show too. You should go on the MIA podcast with John and talk to him about the manufacturing side of the business, because that's a big thing that we're trying to highlight there.
That'd be great. Yeah,
mate, we're loving it. We're loving it being a part of it and the relationship that we're building. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. For everyone that's listening, like, follow, share, comments. Please let us know if there's any guests you'd like to see on the show or any conversations, subjects that you would like us to talk about. The more controversial, the better. We love controversy, I think. Right, Grant? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. We like challenging subjects.
Challenging subjects. We're all unbundled under the show, throwing that edutainment that Grant loves. Please join us for the next one. Third week of April will be the next show. Thursday at 4:00. And for everyone, please stay safe, enjoy the rest of your day, and keep dry if it's raining where you're at. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Grant. Bye.